The Pittsburgh Steelers become victorious in Week 1, taking down the Atlanta Falcons on the road to start their 2024 campaign with an 18-10 victory, which honestly doesn't even begin to express how much the Steelers beat down on the Dirty Birds here in the season opener. Welcome into Steelers Talk. I'm your host, Jack Sperry. We got post-game coverage for you guys right here on the channel. Make sure you guys spam those W's down there in the comments section, because we're starting out 1-0. And by the way, at the time that I'm recording this video, Bengals and Ravens both 0-1. Steelers, top of the AFC North. Okay, now let's get into the injury news of the day. The big one here is that Cam Johnson, the big free agent acquisition for the Pittsburgh Steelers at punter, is dealing with a leg injury. Now, at the time I'm recording this video, we do not have word on how severe the injury is or anything like that. All we know is that he left the game. Chris Boswell, the kicker, had to kick a punt at some point after a running into the kicker really didn't work out well for Cam Johnson. Okay, so watch out for a potential signing this week. Maybe Presley the Harvin III comes back, God forbid, or they bring in somebody else. But hopefully Cam's okay and his season isn't over. So now we can go to our first game ball here. And we mentioned Chris Boswell. He is the MVP of this football game. Plain and simply, okay? Chris Boswell made 6 field goals in this game, 3 of them from 50+, and he had to come in as an emergency kicker, or punter, I should say, and it was actually a good punt. All right, so big kudos to Chris Boswell. If Boswell isn't as successful as he was today, Steelers don't win the football game. Plain and simply, he showed up. He was the big man on campus in Pittsburgh, and today was all about him. But then, I'll also give a game ball to Justin Fields, his first start in a Pittsburgh Steelers uniform. And although it wasn't perfect, the offense wasn't finishing drives in this one, didn't have a single touchdown in the game, Fields made some big throws and some big runs in very weighty moments, all right? I'm talking about a bomb to George Pickens to set up a field goal before halftime. I'm talking about a massive run play on a third down at the end of the game to really be able to milk the clock the way the Steelers were able to. Justin Fields wasn't perfect in this game. You could tell the Steelers were limiting the types of play calls that they were going to call for him just because he's not the best pure drop-back passer. It was a lot of one read to check down or one read to run for Justin today. But honestly, it worked. It worked enough to make a functional offense for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Because it's his first win as a Pittsburgh Steelers starting quarterback, he gets a game ball. And then TJ Watt, man. We'll talk about TJ Watt a little bit later in the show as well. But this man, I mean, the stat line that he put up today doesn't do justice as to how dominant this guy was. I mean, 2 forced fumbles for him were taken off the board, one by a penalty, actually 2 by penalties. One of them was just a perfectly timed snap that was so good it was called offsides by the referees. So TJ Watt, I think, proved today that he is not only the best defensive player on the planet, but in my opinion, the best football player on the planet Earth today at any position. I think he's that good. He was winning at the line of scrimmage immediately against Caleb McGarry, a really good right tackle in this league, and Kirk Cousins just couldn't get away from him, man. He was a straight-up menace. TJ Watt was unbelievable. So let me know down there in the comments section, who was your MVP for this football game? Was it Chris Boswell? Was it Justin Fields? Was it TJ Watt? Was it somebody else? Let me know down there in the comments section for today's pinned comment. YouTube's going to throw you an ad break here in just a couple of seconds. And when that happens, take advantage of that time. But let me know who's your MVP for Week 1. Get to George Pickens. And George Pickens was him today, folks. Okay? He was making unbelievable catches. Even like that 2-yard completion that he had on the sidelines. I mean, he double clutched it and caught it on his way down. I mean, this guy's spectacular catch rating on Madden should be a 99. I think it's the best in football right now. Adjusted to some really nicely thrown deep balls from Justin Fields. And it's obvious that Pickens and Fields' connection is very strong, all right? He was pretty much the only productive Steelers receiver today, if I'm being completely honest with you. But he was the guy today. He was the guy that we expected him to be. And I think talent-wise, he's a top 5 receiver in football right now. Then Joey Porter Jr. I mean, how many times did they call Drake London's name today? Very few times. Only once, I think. I think Drake London only had 1 catch in this football game because Joey Porter Jr. shut his butt down. He was the number 1 shutdown corner that we all expected him to be, and he was last year. And I think, like I said earlier, I think he's going to be an all-pro player, and he showed that level of play today. And then Donte Jackson. Yes, he dropped an interception early in the game. And yes, he took away a TJ Watt forced fumble in a key moment by doing a face mask on Darnell Mooney. But he had a big interception in the second half. I thought he was really good in coverage all day long, and he put himself in position to make plays consistently. So his first game as a Steeler, I'm going to give him a game ball as well. Now coming up here on Steelers Talk, Week 1 takeaways. All right, I got 5 takeaways to share with you guys moving forward, heading into Week 2 versus the Denver Broncos. But before we get into that, let's have a word from our sponsor here at Game Time, which is the fastest and easiest way to buy tickets for the sports, music, comedy, and theater in your area. And guys, we all know going to see a Pittsburgh Steelers game at Acrisure Stadium, it's unlike anything you can get from watching the game on your couch, right? It's something that you have to be there to experience. Now, what's great about our friends at Game Time is that they have this new feature on their app called Game Time Picks. And how you use it is you click the Game Time Picks app or filter, and it automatically filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets on a bunch of different ticketing apps. Here's how it works. You go into the Game Time app. You go into a game you want to go see. Let's just do the home opener for the Steelers this year versus the Chargers in Week 3. And you press Game Time Picks, and it automatically shows you the best deals on the best seats. All right, it's absolutely fantastic, and it does the work for you, man. So if you want to get great tickets, great seats at great prices, Game Time Picks is going to be the feature for you. And what I love about using Game Time in general, guys, is they get the lowest price guarantee on any ticket to any event, all-in pricing, so you don't get slapped with crazy fees at checkout, and then flash deals so you can get even cheaper tickets the closer you wait to Game Time. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time today. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code ChatSports for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code ChatSports for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? It's game time. So my takeaways after this game. I do think Russell Wilson will start next week. If Justin Fields converted a couple touchdown drives, maybe we'd be having a different discussion. All right, but I said today I think the offense needed to get over 20 points for Justin to win the job. He didn't do that today. 6 field goal drives. I thought Justin definitely did good enough to put the pressure on Russ. Russ better be ready to play heading into next week and moving forward because this team is functional. But Justin Fields is their starting quarterback. They proved that today. Russ needs to do the same in the weeks to come or he's going to lose this starting job very quickly. But like I said, it's nice to have Justin Fields in relief. It's nice to know that your backup quarterback maybe isn't the most consistent from the pocket, but damn, he is dynamic as a rusher. He makes big plays when big plays need to be made. He can throw those. You can do a lot of stuff creatively on rollouts and bootlegs with him that you can't do with other quarterbacks. I mean, there's a lot of interesting things you can do with Justin Fields. So Russ definitely has the pressure on him heading into next week. Then we go to the Pittsburgh Steelers defense, and I'm ready to say it, man. I said it coming into the year. One of my bold predictions was this would be the number 1 defense in the world, and they definitely lived up to that hype today. I mean, this pass rush was constantly in the lap of Kirk Cousins within the first 3 or 4 seconds of his drop, and then the secondary was phenomenal today too. We talked about Joey Porter Jr. and Donte Jackson getting the job done, and the linebackers were a lot better than what we've seen in years past as well. So I love what this Steelers defense is doing. Beanie Bishop Jr., a little bit of a weakness here, and it's the only weakness I can see with the Steelers defense right now. Once Cam Sutton comes back to play the slot, oh my goodness, this is going to be a disgusting unit. So make sure you guys click that subscribe button if you haven't already. We're getting close to 59,000 subscribers here on Steelers Talk, just 100 away. Just got there, by the way. Make sure you click that subscribe button for extensive and free Steelers coverage all throughout the 2024 campaign. Then we get to, I think that the Steelers have the best defense in the world, but I also think they have the world's best player, man. TJ Watt, you can tell he's coming into this season with a mission to win that Defensive Player of the Year trophy and prove that he is the best defensive player on the planet. And honestly, I know how great Mahomes is at quarterback, but I'm not even sure if he's on TJ Watt's level at his position. TJ Watt is just so much better than everybody else at the edge rusher position, in my opinion, I think he's the best player on the planet, period. He just wins instantly in all instances against the pass and the run. They try chipping him, and it just doesn't work, man. This guy's an absolute menace. He is a nightmare, and he is the catalyst for the best defense in the world in the Pittsburgh Steelers right now. Then we got Bo Nix, and it's Kirk Cousins has been one of the most productive quarterbacks in football for the last decade, and he looked terrible today. Plain and simply, this Atlanta offense should have only scored 3 points. Just imagine what Bo Nix is going to do next week, all right? It's a worse offensive roster next week in the Denver Broncos. You got a rookie quarterback that has never seen this kind of pass rush in his life. Good luck, Bo Nix, because the Steelers are coming after you. It's Red Pen time here on Steelers Talk, man. Grade the Steelers' performance today, A, B, C, D, or F. Going to give them a B. B plus, actually. The defense was an A. No question about it. Maybe even an A plus. Defense or offense, I'd give them a B minus. So round it out, B plus. I think it's more than fair. A good game for the Steelers. Definitely showed a lot, and there's a lot of promise as we enter week 2 of the 2024 NFL season. Make sure you guys click that subscribe button if you haven't already. Tomorrow, we actually go live on Steelers Talk Live. We're actually going to be doing some Madden stuff tomorrow. We're going to be playing some people in Madden tomorrow. So if you want to join us here, we got our preview of Week 2 versus Denver. We've got Madden games live here on the show. It's going to be a lot of fun this week, man. Lots of new promotions as well. So make sure you click that subscribe button right now and join us tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. Eastern for Steelers Talk Live.